It was a night like no other in the history of mankind. The city of Makkah was quiet, wrapped in the kind of silence that only deep night carries. In a small house near the Kaaba, a man lay in restless thought. His name was Muhammad Key, and the past few years of his life had been the heaviest any human being had ever carried. His beloved wife Khadijah had passed away. His uncle and protector, Abu Talib, was gone too. The people of Ta'if had thrown stones at him until his feet bled, when all he had done was ask them to believe in one God. Grief had a name that year, and people would later call it the Year of Sorrow. And yet, on this particular night, something extraordinary was about to happen. Something that would remind him, and every believer after him, that no matter how dark the night gets, help from the heavens is never far away. He was resting near the Kaaba when the angel Jibril appeared. This was not the first time Jibril had come to him, but this visit was different. Jibril brought with him a creature unlike anything on earth. A white animal, smaller than a mule, but larger than a donkey, with wings on its legs that let it move faster than the eye could follow. Its name was Buraq, and its stride, they say, reached as far as its eye could see. Muhammad approached it, and for a moment it grew restless, unwilling to let anyone ride it. Jibril placed his hand on it and said gently that no one more honored by Allah had ever mounted it before. The animal calmed, and so began the journey. In moments, they were no longer in Makkah. The desert air gave way to distant lands, and soon Muhammad found himself standing before Masjid al-Aqsa in Jerusalem, a place he had never physically visited before, yet one he would later describe with such precision that even those who doubted him could not find fault in his description. There, waiting in the courtyard, stood the souls of the prophets who had come before him. Ibrahim, Musa, Isa, and many others gathered as if the entire history of prophethood had folded into a single moment. Muhammad stepped forward and led them all in prayer. It was a quiet, staggering scene, the final messenger standing at the front, guiding those who had themselves guided nations. This alone would have been enough to mark that night as unforgettable, but it was only the beginning. From the rock at al-Aqsa, the journey turned upward. This part is called the Mi'raj, the ascension, and it defies ordinary description because what Muhammad experienced next was not of this world at all. He rose through the heavens, one after another, and at each gate a different prophet greeted him. In the first heaven, he met Adam, who looked to his right and smiled at the souls of the righteous, then looked to his left and wept for the souls of the doomed. A father still grieving for his children across all of time. Higher still, he met Yahya and Isa together, then Yusuf, whose beauty was said to be so striking it was described as half of all the beauty given to humankind. He met Idris, then Harun, then Musa. It was Musa who wept when Muhammad passed him. When asked why, Musa said it was because he knew that of all the nations given prophets, more of Muhammad's followers would enter paradise than his own. There was no jealousy in his tears, only the ache of a man who had loved his people fiercely and wished more of them had listened. Finally, Muhammad reached Ibrahim at the gate of the seventh heaven, near a tree called Sidrat al-Muntaha, the lote tree of the furthest boundary. This was the edge of what any created being could reach. Even Jibril, who had traveled with him this entire way, stopped here. He told Muhammad that if he flew even a wing's breadth further, he would be burned, for this was as far as any creature was permitted to go. But Muhammad was not any creature. He continued on, alone, into a nearness that no words could hold, a closeness to Allah too vast to be described in the language of men. It was here that the command was given, 50 prayers a day, for every believer, for all time. Muhammad began the journey back down, honored and humbled. But as he passed Musa again, Musa stopped him. "How many prayers were you commanded?" he asked. 50, Muhammad replied. Musa shook his head. "Your people will not be able to bear it. Go back and ask for a reduction." So Muhammad turned back, and the number was lowered. 40, then 30, then 20. Each time he passed Musa again, and each time Musa sent him back, insisting the burden was still too heavy for ordinary people. Muhammad went back and forth between his Lord and Musa's counsel again and again until the number reached 5. Even then, Musa urged him to ask for less. But Muhammad, out of a kind of quiet dignity, said he felt shy to keep asking. And so it was decreed, 5 prayers a day, but the reward of 50. A mercy folded inside a mercy, given to a tired, grieving man in the middle of his hardest year, carried through 7 heavens and back before a single night had ended. By the time Muhammad returned to Makkah, dawn had barely broken. His bed was still warm. When he told the people what had happened, most refused to believe him. How could a man travel to Jerusalem and through the heavens and return before sunrise? Even some who had believed in him began to doubt. But one man did not hesitate. When they ran to tell Abu Bakr, hoping to shake his faith, he simply said, "If he said it, then it is true." From that day, he was given the name as Siddiq, the truthful one, the one who believes without needing to see. And that is the story of the night the sky opened for one tired, grieving man. The night's sorrow was answered not with an easy life, but with a closeness to the divine that no human being had ever touched before or since.